Yeah, so this patriarchy stuff that we've kind of been going along with, it's harming us. I mean, men are treating us like crap, they're unaliving us in droves, so I think we're done. We're not going to partner with them or have their kids. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're just gonna throw away your divine purpose of serving me and my kids? Well, then screw you. In fact, we're gonna leave you alone first. How about that? Okay, but do you promise? Yes, we promise we're gonna leave you alone. You know what? Have fun cleaning up your cat litter. Ladies, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but some of y'all are gonna have to settle. I mean, you have to. We have got to cut it out with all these gender wars. Hey, I'll settle. Oh my god, why are you talking? I don't understand. Anyway, some of y'all are going to have to settle. I mean,
That TikTok is spot on. I'm glad that the 4B movement is picking up. I'm loving it. I love that they're saying that men are starting to panic, which I don't see in everyday life because the pick me's are plentiful. But it's like they don't want the pick me's, but the pick me's are ready to be picked. It's like a twilight zone. They want the women who don't want them, and it's like they just have a game. And instead of them just put in that predatory behavior and that level of competitiveness toward building a house, getting a job, being fit in the gym, having savings goals, they just decide to play in this everlasting mental mind game with women. And it's amazing.
You choosing to leave men alone don't mean that you will be left alone. So if you don't want to get
If you have not watched his video, go watch his video. But this will be a unforeseen issue with the 4B movement once it becomes widespread in America. Patriarchy here has given men a sense of entitlement that is almost insane. One of the reasons we have not seen a rise in violence the way that we could have is because there are women still giving losers coochie. The moment that women stop giving losers coochie, all hell is gonna break loose. And I am a part of the 4B movement and I am prepared for what is yet to come. But I'm telling you, once women decide in mass numbers that they're not gonna give losers coochie, there will be a increase in violence with these men against women. Women giving losers coochie is what's kind of keeping them at bay, and it still ain't been keeping them at bay enough. Mark my words, we will see an increase in violence. That is why I am urging women, get you a pum pum, take defense classes to learn how to fight, learn how to protect yourself. Because the moment women stop giving them losers the buns, we gonna have to start putting them down like dogs. I hate that. I'm not for violence, but this is reality. So get prepared.
How dare he say us choosing to leave men alone does not mean that we're going to be left alone? That sounds like a threat to me. I agree with what she's saying. Because that sounds like a threat. It sounds like somebody that doesn't understand that no means no.
4B movement is a victory for us because we told them we don't want no old single mothers. They hit the wall, they're over 30, they had children before they got married, and they got a high body count. They're doing us a favor.
I don't care how many men make videos like this, act like they don't care that women don't want to marry them or have their children. We're all very well aware that there is a single male loneliness epidemic going on right now. There's not a single women loneliness problem. The 4B movement is about decentering men, and here they are doing what they always do, and that's putting themselves in the center of somebody else's movement. They have been trying their hardest to co-opt any movement that women get. We say we want a soft life, here they are talking about they're in their soft guy era. We say sprinkle, sprinkle, now they're talking about drizzle, drizzle. Like, Every time we make a movement, they try to mirror us. How are you the leader when we're always following us? I guess we must be the leaders. I think the men are becoming afraid because they're realizing a woman's power. When they see these decreasing rates of marriage and childbirth, they're realizing that it's the women who have decided to make it that way. So they've always come up with some kind of scare tactic, some kind of manipulation, but the latest tactic is to act like it was their idea. We actually like this, right, fellas? We wink wink. Yeah, we this is what we want too. No, this isn't what you want, but it is what you're going to get. The manipulation and scare tactics aren't working, and they never will. You're going to have to do the one thing you have been avoiding the whole time, and that is change and become a better man if you ever want to be with any one of these women. No one is settling for you anymore.
The most wild thing to me about the 4B movement is the outpouring of women who are realizing how much of a good idea it is, and the outpouring of men who are like, they can do that? I know it's a fairly recent thing, man, but yeah, women can get their own homes, live their own lives, and do basically everything that they want to without centering men around their lives. And it's very telling to think that this is a threat to you. You would think that some of you would see this as a step towards getting rid of the patriarchy and removing some of the stress in your life around being a traditional man, even though some of you may still want to be. But with the 4B movement, women don't need to center men around their lives because women don't need men to survive anymore. It was a fairly recent thing that women could start voting and having bank accounts. And in some men's minds, it's only going to get worse from here. So with women not needing to rely on men anymore for housing and having actual money, men might have to start doing insane things in order to attract women, like having a personality. I just think that feeling threatened during a movement where women decenter men from their lives is a very big tell.
4B movement continues to grow and strengthen like I see it doing. I can see us being just like the women in South Korea. I can see these birth rates declining, the marriage rates failing. You know, they make money off of the idea of romance. So Valentine's Day sales down the drain. We don't need it. The wedding industry down the drain. We don't need it. Like I said, these birth rates, they already have too many workers with not enough jobs because of technology. So we'll help you with that right there. I see it as a win-win. Women can focus on themselves, their community, building their mental strength, spiritual. I see it as a good thing. And there's always going to be people that procreate, but we do have to have an awakening because these men have not been held accountable.
Okay, so there are 5 things that men are going to do to try to fight the 4B movement. One of them is going to be terror. They're going to use terror to threaten women. They're going to try to scare women, but telling us all the things they're going to do to us, and some of them are going to actually act out these things. So you're right, it would be good to get your self-defense strategies ready. Thing number 2 will be sour grapes. Oh, we didn't want you ladies anyway. Y'all are over 30, y'all are used up, just that. Third thing that they're going to do is attempt to appeal to and exploit feminine empathy. Y'all are really being selfish. You're really hurting people. You women don't care about what this is doing to the world, to the male loneliness epidemic. This is pretty much just the baby crying. If you're black, we all black people need to come together. We can't keep doing this gender war thing. Thing number 4 is going to be attempting to start movements of their own, which they've already done. Well, everything I'm saying they've already done and are already doing, but this one will be short-lived because they don't have a good reason for wanting to divest from romantic relationships with women. And they've never been in romantic relationships with women. They've just been exploiting women. Collectively speaking, on an individual basis, I can't speak to that. But collectively speaking, fabricated romance has been pretty much a collective exploitation of feminine energy in women. Number 5, the 5th thing that they're going to do when all else fails is call daddy. Dad is the law. This is happening now as well. Reproductive rights being taken away from women. That's the boys calling daddy in order to force mom to stay. We're seeing it all play out, but it's really interesting.
He hates you. They hate us. Men do not like us. Be alone. That's really the only other option. Just be alone, look in the mirror, sit with yourself, cry, have an ego death, and then get really hot, get a bunch of hobbies, be extremely successful, and write a fucking book or something. Just be alone. Oh my God. It is so much better than being with someone who fucking hates your ass.
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried on, bro. Like,
my legacy is me. My legacy is not my kids. My legacy is me. My legacy is my show. My legacy is Amani. My legacy is not my kids, because average people will be like, oh, I want a legacy, but you're average. You live like a peasant. So what is your legacy? Let's say that you are above average. You're a millionaire. You're brilliant. You've made all these contributions to society. Your kid could come out to be a crackhead. Your kids could come out to be a school shooter. And that's the legacy? That's your legacy? I don't think that legacies, people even really know what they mean, because your legacy starts with you. And if you don't have a legacy in your name, your kids ain't got shit to do with your legacy. People think that a legacy is just having kids. No, your legacy is what you set your kids up for. And a lot of people don't got two fucking pennies to rub together, but want to have kids and a legacy. What fucking legacy do you have? A legacy of debt? You are an everyday average citizen, sir.
So you consider, that's so fucking selfish, bro. So selfish.
Actually, it's selfish to have kids, because you think that you're so great that you're going to pass on something great to your kids, to the world. You're not that great.
Let me just say this, and she was spot on. I might get some flack for this, but let me just say this. Unpopular opinion. Poor people have the most kids. Like, the people that are in poverty, the people that can't afford kids, they get pregnant the most, and back to back. Like, they be the ones having kids like rabbits, because it's like they don't think before they do certain stuff. They don't realize the cause and effect. They just do it. And then you have the people that come up behind them. They're like, oh, congratulations. Not everybody that's pregnant needs to hear congratulations. You don't even have a vehicle to get back and forth to appointments. That man you had that baby with, we've never met him. He's not even at your gender reveal. It's not a celebratory situation. She's absolutely correct. Not everybody needs to have kids. And stop putting legacy on children you haven't even had. Focus on your individual self and your contribution before you even thinking about procreating.
Men can't believe that women are single by choice, because men aren't single by choice.
If you saw this video on your For You page, you already knew I was coming. This is the reason why it will never bother me when men are in my comments saying women are lying. They don't want to be alone. They're going to die miserable and lonely and just lead terrible lives without a man in it. Guys, this is going to be a really big word for you, okay? But are you ready, men? It's called projection. Now, it's a big one, you know, so I'll put the spelling down in the caption, but y'all can Google it and then just sit with it. Sit with it.
Women are not the way they were back in the day. What happened to our grandmas? You know what happened to your grandma? Your grandma was trapped in that marriage with your
Let's listen to a couple short clips from this elder's love story.
Now I'm stuck with this crazy man that I had the baby for, and he told me, he said, if you don't marry me, I'm going to kill you. So I was like, I ain't trying to marry this man, because he has already been slapping on me before then. I was like 19. Anyway, so I had to deal with him. So as time went on, I went on and got married because I was afraid for my life. Yeah, so anyway.
Did you hear that beautiful marriage proposal? He said, if you don't marry me, I'm going to kill you. She got married not because she was head over heels in love, not because this man was so good to her, but because she was afraid for her life. And I promise you, this lady probably got a grandson right now on the internet talking about why isn't anybody like my grandma? So the next time a Dustantian from the region of Krustyville gets up in your face and has the nerve to say, why aren't you like my grandmama and my mama? And why can't you treat me the way they treated my granddaddy? Go ahead and send them this video. I'm gonna tag it in the caption.
You can't be mad that the chick that you want because of what she looks like doesn't want you. You only want her for what she looks like anyways. She doesn't have the other qualities that you're looking for. Leave her alone.
I don't know that. I want, you know, I like what I see. I want to hear and get to know her better.
But sweetheart, they're talking to the women that are saying they're not going to cook. Leave them alone.
No, well, they find out she's not going to cook after they speak to them.
Okay, and then you're like, okay, then leave her alone. That's what I'm saying. There's somebody for everybody. The chick that doesn't want to cook, leave her alone.
But how many men, other than chefs, don't want a woman who's nurturing and wants to cook for them and cater to them? How many men don't want this?
I don't know the answer to that. I would imagine that most men do want that.
Right. There are things that women want. We know what they are.
And they might not get it. They might get it, they might not. Men can say what they want, they might get it, they might not. It's the same thing.
Why can't men just leave women alone?
What? Serious? Why can't men just leave women alone? The way she had to say, just leave them alone 11 times, and this man was so resistant just to the idea of leaving a woman alone who's not interested in him.
Men have this way of getting with a woman who they're physically attracted to because she has the frame, and then trying to change everything in the actual picture of her life to fit what works best for them. If she doesn't come with what you need, find someone else. Don't sit there and try to shame her. Oh, why don't you cook? Why don't you clean? Why don't you not wear makeup? Why don't you have long hair? Why don't you? Just find someone who has it. But that's too simple for them. That's not a challenge for them. She's absolutely right. Tell me what you think in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.